All right, you guys ready to talk Travis Scott?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna talk Travis Scott. This is the other topic that we are going to work to get through because it is sad.
Yeah.
Have either of you, I know you've seen the video of, did you watch the Astroworld video?
I think I saw the video
of
when it
him
happened.
okay, so basically this is a project that he has launched he after the Astroworld incident, which was about not a year ago now, but it's been a while.
It's been a few months.
It would have been in like the end of the summer, maybe early fall.
Wow, time flies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, what happened was he was performing at a show, and he basically the implication is that he egged on this crowd as a stampede went through, and it caused the death of 10 people, including a child.
Right.
He is now under fire for the lawsuits are insane, and so. We recently also covered twice now. Billie Eilish has done concerts where she stops her show because somebody is having trouble breathing,
Oh,
and
wow,
she
good for
made
her.
this backhanded comment like, "I take care of the people at my shows,"
okay,
so I can't even give them credit when I'm like, I want to give you credit, but did you have to say that out loud?
No.
It's the "Hey, I'm a good person" syndrome. There was a meme from the Babylon Bee the other day. It said, in lieu of mask mandates being repealed, liberals just put on shirts that say "I'm a good person."
I'm a good person.
So that's kind of what it feels like. She's like, I'm gonna do this good act, but I have to make sure that I get my shot in. So this says Travis Scott launches Project Heal, donating $5 million for community initiatives. Now, sometimes this stuff, like you mentioned earlier, everything is PR. And I do
Yes.
believe that to be true.
100%.
I don't believe that this was 100% an act of kindness, but that doesn't mean it's not a good thing, and that
Right.
doesn't make him a bad person for it having some personal motive to do so.
Sure.
That's my problem with the world is everyone looks at, for a world that's constructed around this idea that nothing is binary anymore, they certainly see good and evil as a very binary thing, and they're the arbiters of what that is. And I don't believe that to be true when your business is this size, when you're a public figure. I don't feel that you have the luxury of thinking of the world that way, because the world's going to judge you in a respect that you haven't earned. Meaning that he, whether he meant this or not, him donating the money could be 100% self-sacrificing, sure. But does it make him bad if it isn't? I don't think so. I don't personally think that he's doing is this could help repair my public image. That doesn't make him bad.
Right.
But does it make him a shrewd businessman? Yes.
Yeah, I don't know, because this isn't very much money. First of all,
No,
we
it's
know
not.
how much he's worth.
Actually, I don't know.
Well,
how much
he's
he's
worth
married to or they're not married, right?
No,
they're together.
Kardashian.
So it says Travis Scott is giving back, chipping in millions for community-based initiatives that'll help out students, aspiring creatives, and even future concert goers. He also probably can't afford to give that much with the lawsuits he's involved in right now.
That's possible.
So the rapper is launching what is called Project Heal, which is a multi-tier effort that is going to pour a ton of cash towards causes Scott sees as important. As far as the amount here, we're talking $5 million. Even that article feels like they're telling him it's not that much.
Yeah.
Right.
We're talking, $5 million.
Yeah.
And
and-
also his net worth is 60 mil.
yeah.
See
Yeah.
how is he worth more than Marilyn Manson when Marilyn Manson has 20 years in the industry?
I
well,
have no clue.
Manson's not as big. He's a little more niche, but that kind of makes sense.
He was
Let me see.
he had a theme song for the WWE for 10 years. The royalties he probably got off that were insane.
I'm not sure.
Like-
he is one of the highest paid and most popular rappers in the world. That's
yeah.
why.
No, he is.
Yeah, he's
He,
huge.
and the funny thing is I enjoy his music.
Yeah, I have no issue with his
I do.
music.
So it says, for starters, $1 million is being earmarked for HBCU scholarships. There's a funny joke I could make in here about the repealing of the HBCU funding that came this past year.
Interesting.
It was not renewed after President Trump did the funding. They repealed that, I believe. Somebody might be able to
Interesting.
fact check me on that. I think
I
that
don't know
that fell
anything
through.
about it.
So you heard that though, right? That he had funded historically black universities.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it says, so he put $1 million towards HBCU. And it sounds like he'll be using his previously established Wayman Webster Scholarship. So this is charity work he had done before this happened. Scholarship
good for
fund to
him.
allocate, manage, and disperse these awards for undeserved but underserved.
Underserved.
I know.
Yeah.
I said when I was proofing this article, I'm like, I'm gonna say undeserved. I'm gonna say and it became a self-fulfilling prophecy. And these words for underserved but high-achieving Black scholars.
Cool.
Scott and Co. aim to assist at least 100 students with this dough, aiding them in getting over the finish line in their senior year. The academic criteria: averaging a 3.5 GPA or higher. That's pretty good. I mean, that's like not. It's not like it's got
unattainable.
Yeah, exactly. So because there's more. There's more. The rest of the $5 million is being divvied up for a few different enterprises, including establishing and providing free mental health care programs for vulnerable children, for vulnerable kids, as well as expanding his creative design program offered through his Cactus Jack Foundation. Now that one I had heard of.
Oh, interesting.
He's also allocating funds to make sure music fans are safe at shows going forward, and that touches him personally. The money will go to the U.S. Conference of Mayors Task Force on Event Safety. That is a very weird name to say, with a tech-driven approach to that end. So I don't know what they mean by a tech-driven approach. If that means I imagine physical barriers,
Well,
but
yeah, but like I would say probably like scanning the right number of people in and making sure that everybody's got their
that
ticket.
they're not over capacity.
Right, exactly.
Of course, Astroworld comes to mind, where 10 people. They have to make sure they mention it.
Of course.
Here. I was talking to Hannah Claire. The TMZ is like one of the best, most honest news sites there is, as far as keeping editorialization out of their articles.
That's great. Yeah.
They tend to be very like. Just they give you the raw facts,
Yeah,
and then that's
short,
the story.
Straightforward article.
Like I actually made a joke because one thing I've noticed more is I see a lot of like celebrity death now because of all the stuff that I have to cover.
Yeah.
And it's always like this weird write up, and then just at the bottom, just in small letters, R.I.P. But they include it with everyone. Guys. Yeah, but
good
it's
for
just
them.
Yeah. So if we go over here to Article 2, this is the philanthropy of Travis Scott.
Oh yeah.
It says it says it's done great work. Now, the reason I had this question was I wanted to know if this was pre-incident or post-incident.
Right.
So it says historians are Houstonians, not historians, that's because he's a Houston rapper, are joining the nation mourning the victims of the Astroworld stampede. And while the blame game runs rampant, many say the tragedy doesn't negate the philanthropic work that Travis Scott has done for the community.
Oh, okay.
Through his Cactus Jack Foundation, Scott has made it his mission to provide educational and creative resources for young adults in his hometown of Houston, bringing everything from scholarships to food drives and charity softball games. Scott is in that picture up there. You see, that's from 2018. That's not a recent picture. So Scott has even been honored with Travis Scott Day, proclaimed by Mayor Sylvester.
That's great.
Sylvester Turner, to celebrate Scott's music career in honor of his role as Houston's ambassador for art, education, and youth initiatives. So it's like there's this two-sided coin to this, right? The people who want to sensationalize it, talk about, even Dane was like, it feels like he's egging people on in the show. I can't speak to his intention.
Right.
I don't know that. That's not my place to say that because I wasn't in his head. I do know that when you're performing, now, and even I believe Carter said the same thing, and Carter has unique experience because he's a musician, but I do believe that there's a place where you get really into what you're doing and your brain kind of goes blank and he's not thinking of the consequences of his actions.
Right.
Doesn't make it right, but I'm saying I don't know if there was necessarily malicious intent there, that he got caught up in the moment.
I was going to say, too, that I have heard that in the past he encouraged people to get really rowdy.
Yes.
Which is not a mark in his favor. But this certainly is. Like, the fact that he did this way before this happened, good for him. He seems to be like he's just continuing to do his same thing.
Yep. And so he's like, and he's going to have to, with the lawsuits coming, I'm sure that he doesn't have all the money in the world to free up.
Maybe this is just him continuing. So $5 million, maybe he's just like, all right, I'm just going to keep doing my thing.
If anything, that's hard for him because then he's like, I was already doing this and now people are going to see it as self-interest.
He's like, I'm going to do it anyway because it's the right thing to do. Maybe. I don't know him very well.
One of the things I have an issue with in society today, as much as I rag on celebrities and make fun of them because I think they're vapid, I think they're self-obsessed, I have an even bigger issue, if anything, of people telling them what is right for them to donate.
Right.
I don't think that like you guys were talking on the show yesterday about Colbert saying that we should just sacrifice our own money.
Oh my gosh.
Right. But I have the same issue. It's not my job to tell him where his money could go.
Right.
I don't like when people are ragging on these celebrities. They're like rich, self-important celebrity. I'm like, yes, rich, but that's not does it disconnect them from the average person? Yes, but that doesn't give you a right to tell them where their money should go. They did that in the Batman when the annoying do-gooder mayor candidate, who's of course too perfect, and it's not, and there's no real politician actually like that.
Right.
It's like your family has a history of philanthropic work, but as far as I can see, you're doing nothing for the city. Bitch, it ain't his job to do nothing for the city. It's his money. It's his family's money. If he wants to keep that money and build a Scrooge McDuck pool of money at the bottom of his basement, God bless America, that is his right to do that. And that we don't have any right to tell celebrities how they spend their money either.
Yeah, well, that gets down to a deeper issue that I have huge issue with. I see all the time on Twitter. People do it to me all the time. It drives me nuts.
Wait, what is like the worst tweet you ever got?
I've got some pretty bad ones. Let me finish.
Yeah, go ahead.
This is a deep one because this is ascribing intention to someone else.
Yes.
Because this is one of the things that I've talked to Andy about. I'm like, we don't even know what we're thinking. So for someone else to come out and tell me that I'm thinking X, Y, or Z, get lost, buddy, because I'm not even entirely sure. Like, I've just thought about it longer than you have.
I have that, that same thing all the. It's ascribing motive and intention to people when I'm like, half the time when I make a decision for myself, I'm like, I don't know, I did that.
Seems like this is the right thing
I'm just
to
figuring
do.
out, I can barely figure out, and most of us can barely figure out and manage our own lives.
Right.
Let alone tell another person how they should act or what they meant by something.
Exactly.
Piss off.
Yeah, seriously. That's so presumptive.
So there's a list here of the different philanthropic work he did. It says the Wayman Webster Scholarship Foundation, the Cactus Jack Gardens, it says Scott works with the city of Houston in the community-based agricultural program for local elementary schools. So the scholarship is different. Then there's the Cactus Jack Gardens, so that's philanthropic work regarding agriculture. Fashion curriculum, that's a national partnership with the new Parsons School of Design. It says Cactus Jack Foundation brings its fashion curriculum to Houston through My Brother's Keeper, an online certification program made available via scholarships. The Cactus Jack Design Center is described as an innovative hub and transformational youth center connecting high school students to education, resources, hands-on training, and mentorship that will unlock new pathways to career, college, and workforce opportunities. So there's a winter storm emergency relief.
Oh, cool.
Turkey giveaway. That's I always think whenever they do that. Have you guys ever seen the movie American Gangster?
Maybe.
It's the Denzel Washington movie about he plays Lucas, a drug dealer from the 70s in New York City.
Maybe
a very famous drug dealer. It's the story. He was Bumpy in the story. He was Bumpy Johnson's driver, and then he started importing heroin directly from China.
Oh my gosh.
From Vietnam. Excuse me.
Okay.
Maybe.
And it was Russell Crowe and Denzel Washington. And one of the things that his boss did before he became the kingpin was they would hand out turkeys at Thanksgiving, and that in Harlem.
Interesting.
So that's a thing that goes back to and football players do that in their hometowns too. A lot of football players go back to their
community building.
It's a community building thing. So Sunnyside basketball court. So all of these things look like they were going on well before this happened.
That looks very good for him.
Yes. And then the last article, it's just this one. It says, what's next for Travis Scott? And I just wanted to, in general, it's an interview with two people that are connected to him. It says Scott hasn't directly addressed any of these questions himself about what's going to happen with him in the future. Facing lawsuits from attendees who are reportedly seeking billions in damages.
Wow.
I think there was over 300, there was over 300 lawsuits at one point. Travis is at an uncertain juncture when it comes to the rest of his career. When and how he will return to the stage, and when will he start releasing music again? Can you imagine, he probably feels a little bit of pressure. He has to now start making music again because that's his source of revenue,
right?
Or his main source of income is to stay relevant through his music. And they just go through, we don't even need to go through these questions like, how long do you think, what is the appropriate time that someone waits to come back? Is that even a possible question to answer?
I don't think it is because it's so different for every person. In his instance, he had so many people. I kind of feel like he was flying a little too close to the sun with a concert this size.
Yep.
And from my understanding, safety precautions weren't followed properly. I feel like he now has the stage, no pun intended.
Yes.
I feel like he has the opportunity to be like, we need to make concerts safer for people.
Yep.
It shouldn't be just about money anymore.
He could turn this into a cause for himself
Right.
that, even in the vein of self-interest, could help a lot of people.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, isn't one of the tenets of capitalism is that you help others by helping yourself?
Yeah, basically.
So I don't see that as a bad thing, like necessarily. Like, we're not talking about I'm not condemning or condoning what he did. I can't speak to it. I was not there.
Right.
So I just, I don't know if there's a way for him to come back. Almost like as pessimistic or not pessimistic, as cynical as it sounds, the best way he can do this is to get the corporations back on his side. He needs to look less radioactive to the businesses, because in the end of the day, none of these corporations care that a bunch of people died. They care that he will be bad PR.
Right, exactly. That's our main concern.
That is, and that's a cynical way of looking at it.
But it's true.
But it's the truth, and there's nothing we can do. But that's the world we live in.
Yep.
And that's not going to change anytime soon. So I just, do you see like Kanye West was talking about bringing it back? Is that something you think, like, Kanye's like a dude you can trust to like not turn your back? If Kanye's down with you, he's going to be down with you.
Kanye seems like a good friend.
Yes.
I was reading about his little documentary series earlier today, and he seems like a very troubled artist, very smart guy. And I think that if he goes into rehab, you're going to be okay, honestly, because he's got the resources and the name. So we'll see what happens.
And he doesn't seem to be scared off by people with strong opinions about him.
He has his own strong opinion. So
I just feel bad what Kanye is going through. That's all I have to say, because
everybody should be sad. We had a discussion. Okay, yesterday, Dane was making fun of Pete Davidson, as Dane is wont to do, and he was boggled when our coworker Sarah was like, "I don't think Pete Davidson's ugly." It blew his mind.
What's wrong with what? It's blowing my mind too.
We were talking about who was it? Was it Susan Sarandon? Some actress, some like famous like old school actress was like, he's the perfect combination of like funny and so like in personality. And
he just looks like.
Or they said he was handsome. They said he's handsome. He's got a great personality.
He looks like he's straight out of a freaking Tim Burton movie.
Exactly.
It's the eyes.
The eyes. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
He's less handsome Rami Malek.
Yeah. Yes.
Just imagine him with his blue hair again, with the eyes currently.
Oh my gosh.
And he's trying to dress better for Kim, but it just looks like a disaster.
Put Pete in a Balenciaga dress.
Oh my gosh. What the heck? Yeah.
I don't know. That's
how?
kind of scary. That's kind of scary, but he's not good looking to me. I'll state this, but he's not bad looking. I'll say that. He's not that bad.
Interesting.
Miracle's usually the one you would take for like the strong opinion. Miracle's like,
He's not bad looking, but he's not my type, and I don't see him as handsome, but and he's not that funny, so it kind of
really
kills it.
He must just be really nice. That's what he came up
maybe
with.
he's like secretly a nice guy.
Must be it.
So that's not just a line women give. They actually do like nice guys.
Apparently. I don't know.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did not know.
I just always assumed that was a lie.
Well, I mean, there's varying levels of truth.
Well, like, if you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, how do you describe it?
You're a nice guy, but
yeah,
it's not you, it's me.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Like, it may hurt at the moment because we say you're nice, but
it's followed by a but is the issue typically.
However, same thing as a but.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly.
It's okay.
Yep.
You're a cool guy.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Brutal. That's brutal. That is brutal. Let's just move on.
Right.
I'm done. Thanks for watching this clip, guys. If you want to see full episodes or follow us on social media, links are in the description below. Bye.
Bye.